While we're having the national anthem, a very powerful person also came in. She is the founder and CEO, African Women's Health Project International, Princess Dr. Morade Wogunlano. Please, can you join us on the other side, Ma? Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for all you do. Yes, so for this afternoon, the protocol I have here, I'd like to just recognize the African Women's Health Project International, AWHPI, the Nigerian Country Director, Barrister Mrs. Nkemraji. I'd like us to note that not everybody is here physically. We know we are still trying to overcome the COVID-19, and so some people are joining us online. We have them on Zoom and other digital platforms. So if I recognize some persons, not everybody is here. Again, I would recognize the chairman, ST.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation, Mr. Tola Atekoja is here already. Thank you so much for coming. The Oni of Ife is Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Enitogusi is ably represented. They're on their way. The traffic situation, I'm sure they will join us before this. Founder and CEO of African Women Health Project International, I've recognized that already. Princess Dr. Okay. Can we have a round of applause for them? Thank you. And of course, the founder and executive director, ST.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation, Mrs. Moji and Marshall. Thank you so much for. I have ST.Cyril FAB, that's Friends of ST.Cyril Advisory Board, Mrs. Abisola Giwa Osage. Please, can we give her a round of applause too? And our chief host for today, Mr. Governor, the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Please can we have a round of applause for him? The Honorable Commissioner, Lagos State Ministry of Health, Professor Aki Abayomi, recognized them before. Thank you so much for coming. And of course, our distinguished invited guests, the viewers watching live on Zoom and other digital platforms, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I'd say a very good afternoon to all of us once again. A round of applause for ourselves for being here today. So we'll go with the order of events now. Can I have a welcome address by the chairman, Mr. Tola?
Good afternoon, everybody. The Governor of Lagos State, ably represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Health, Professor Aki Abayomi, the founder, ST.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation, Mrs. Annie Marshall, and the Director of African Women Foundation, seated to my right here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome everybody to this event where we're launching the Surulere Cancer Treatment Center for ST.Cyril's Cancer Treatment Foundation in collaboration with the Africa FAB, led by Mrs. Raji. At ST.Cyril's Cancer Treatment Foundation, it has been a long journey for us to get here, and we believe with the cooperation we're about having today, we should be in a position to impact positively on women's health in Nigeria, in Lagos in particular, and in Nigeria in general. Up to date, our projection is that it's going to cost us close to about $1 million to put this center into formal use, and this is broken into 4 phases. What we are commissioning today is the first phase, which has cost us about $100,000 to put it together. And we're hoping that phases 2 and 3 of the foundation, which will be in the region of about $860,000, will include all the relevant equipment, installation, clearing that are needed to ensure that we're able to give women the necessary attention it requires to deal with the cancer of the cervix. The balance $40,000 will take care of our training for all the medical personnel that will be of assistance to the clients that will come in here. I would, at this juncture, call on Lagos State government to seek the support of Lagos State government in realizing the ambition of St.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation. And I'm very, very pleased that, that Mr. Governor himself has found it worthy to be here, of course, ably represented by the Commissioner of Health, Professor Akin Abayomi. Thank you very much for coming. So on this short note of welcome, I'd like to thank all our distinguished guests for making time out to be here. And we pray that this is the beginning of good relationship. And then when we come to call upon you to support the foundation in future, you have seen what we've been able to do. We know we can count on your support as we move this dream into a realization. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and well done with the work you're doing. I would also call on the founder and CEO of African Women's Health Project International, Princess Dr. Morade Ogulano, to address us. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Mr. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, represented by the Honorable Commissioner, His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi Oni of Ife, Mr. Anima Shaun, our father in the house, and all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen joining us over here, most especially right here, the chairman of this occasion, seated right next to me. Good afternoon. I'm honored and delighted to speak with you today on a subject that is true passion of mine, the power of partnership and collaboration. And what I'll take you through today are my thoughts on the changing landscape of healthcare and the need for a new approach if we are to remain relevant. The need for the power of collaboration from my own experience and that of others. The imperative of a new mindset if we are to make Lagos a real city of excellence in health centers around the world, and how the honors is all on us to make it happen. We can make it happen right here. The St.Cyril and African Women's Health Project International Partnership for Medical Care and the Future of Education, Healthcare, Research, Innovation, and what successful collaboration will look like in healthcare system 5 to 10 years' time. Now, speaking on the greater good, St.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation is a name synonymous with excellence in the treatment of the cancer of the cervix. With all the necessary diagnostic healthcare, research, and innovation. These attributes are writ large in your work and in the successes of our institutes with which we jointly partner. At the African Women's Health Project International, where great advances have been made across many fields of medical endeavor through our global partners in the UAE, in India, in Qatar, and in the United States of America. I'd like to take a moment to send our admiration and the very best wishes to the team at St.Cyril Foundation in Nigeria and our global team at the African Women's Health Project International worldwide. Mrs. Moji Animashaun has worked tirelessly to serve the Surulere community and through it, the broader community at large. She has had a global impact on the understanding of the cervical cancer and its containment. And with these collaborations and with the global reach of partners and network of the African Women's Health Project International, we are on the road to eliminating cancer of the cervix by the year 2030. In Lagos, in Nigeria, and in Africa as a whole. Indeed, we have been fortunate to have the brilliant minds and boundless passion of our US partners ready to join resources with you as you commence on this work. We believe that the devotion of the service to the less privileged is indeed noble and commits them to serving the greater good. And that ideal of serving and greater good is the very characteristics of underpin collaborations. Being willing to surrender sole ownership of anything to achieve a higher goal acknowledges that some things are more important and individual glory is definitely going to be put underneath. Serving something greater and seeing something greater and striving for something greater forms the core of the ST.Cyril Foundation and the African Women's Health Project International collaborative synergies. And if I could sum it up in one word, for the overriding theme would be people, people, people. Ultimately, the African Women's Health Project International and our commitment to access to quality healthcare for women and girls are the driving force from innovation and collaboration. And I just want you to just endure and ask that you all join us in this effort as we begin the road to eliminating the cancer of the cervix by the year 2030. Thank you all so much. And I thank the Lagos State government for being a part of this and being a part of us as we move forward in the road to eliminating cervical cancer in Lagos and in Nigeria as a whole. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Please, can we have a round of applause for her? Better one. Thank you so much, Ma. And for me, one of the key things I took away from what she said was collaboration, collaboration, people, people, people. Because together we can achieve so much more. Everybody is in their corner of the world. And of course, little impacts will make great differences. Thank you so much. On that note, I would like to call on the founder and executive director, ST.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation, Mrs. Moji Animashao. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Our chief host, the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, ably represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, the Ooni of Ife's representative, who's on his way. They are stuck in traffic. I think they had a problem with a trailer on the road, and all other protocols are observed. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for coming. If I had to write a book, I would title it A Leap of Faith. Because when I founded ST.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation in 2013, I took a leap of faith. Cancer treatment, as everybody knows, is complex, it's highly specialized and expensive, but still a desperately needed service in Nigeria and Africa. Someone had to do it, so I stopped complaining and I decided to take up the baton. The road so far has had so many challenges. I won't bore you with that. Today is not a sad day. Today is a happy day. And successes too. We have created awareness. We have screened so many people, so many women, so many men. We have helped with diagnostic services, all leading to our main vision, which is treatment of cancer patients. Through it all, I am thankful that God has been faithful. I'm sorry, Mr. Commissioner, please let me, I'm going to take this off so I can see, so I can hear, I can hear myself when I'm speaking. I am thankful that God has been faithful. He has provided supporters, partners, friends to walk this road with me, so that ST.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation has become our vision. Everybody knows me. Everybody knows I have become a professional beggar for ST.Cyril. So it has really been a challenge. ST.Cyril has become a vision for quality cancer treatment for all Lagosians, for all Nigerians, and eventually for all Africa. We deserve it, just like anyone else. There's no reason why we shouldn't have quality care healthcare in Africa. Before I continue, I must give a shout out to my son, my baby. His name is Bolaho, and he turns 30 today. So happy birthday, son. I know you're watching in New York. Many happy returns. I love you. I have to do this because I have to thank my children. They really have been there. My children have steadfastly given to ST.Cyril every month since we started the foundation. They have contributed their time, they have contributed their intellect, they have contributed a lot of things. So I must thank them. I must thank my families who have stood by me and supported me. Anima Sham family, the Thomas family, the Samuel family, the Owokoniro family. They are all, I'm eternally grateful to them. I also want to thank our friends who have supported us on this journey and our corporate donors who have helped us when we wanted to create awareness, when we wanted to do the screening. They've supported us. I'll mention some of them, but I can't mention all of them. We've had Pfizer, we've had BUA, we've had Airtel, Mobile, Lopez Maker, JNCI, Tanit. So many, they have supported us on this journey to get us here. Behind you, you can see our chemotherapy clinic, which is about to kick off again. We had one in Isolo where we were working for a couple of years, but we moved to this, our permanent site. And our chemotherapy center is going to start off Surulere, and then we have the brachytherapy going on. I also want to thank, in a very special way, my husband, Mr. Olomshola Animasham, who has been a rock to me. He has carried my cause as his own and made tireless and worked tirelessly to get us where we are today. He has held me when I have cried with disappointments and frustration. Then he dried my tears and he asked me to get up off my behind and keep going. Darling, I cannot thank you enough. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. This brings us where we're here today, the brachytherapy units and our collaboration with AWHPI, which is very exciting for me. AWHPI is a women's organization that's been doing a lot of fantastic work, not only in Africa, but in other parts of the world as well. And ST.Cyril, we're growing. We're slowly growing from chemotherapy. We're going to the next thing in cancer treatment, brachytherapy. Brachytherapy is internal therapy and is used mostly for cancer of the cervix, which is why our involvement with AWHPI is so key. But aside from that, we also treat prostate cancer with brachytherapy as well. So it's an exciting time because we need this, that we don't have any that is functioning in Lagos right now. We only have 3 in Nigeria. We should have at least, according to the governor the last time, Mr. Governor, the last time I heard him and he was opening another cancer treatment center, he said at least 10 in Lagos and at least 200 in Nigeria. So we are working towards it and we're listening to you and ensuring that we move on with it. And I also, I'm also excited about it because as a radiation therapist, I have worked with this equipment most of my working life. And as a woman, I'm happy that we have the opportunity because there's so many women who get cancer of the cervix, and because they can't have comprehensive treatment, they have to, they die untimely deaths. We want to reduce the number of unnecessary deaths that come from cancer of the cervix, cancer of the prostate, and cancer in general. So this brachytherapy unit is really, really very essential because it can help us to bridge that gap and work with WHO that is trying to eliminate cancer of the cervix in women by 2030, so that at least most of the women who get the disease are cured, just like what happens in other parts of the world. I have to thank Lagos State, Mr. Governor. I have to appreciate him. I'm glad I have the opportunity to do that personally, because the chances that I would get a one-on-one with him are probably slim. So I would like to say thank you for the work that he's doing in Lagos State in general and in healthcare in particular. Tirelessly, humbly, and quietly putting together the Lagos that you and I love, the Lagos that you and I want, and the Lagos that you and I are aspiring. He listens and he acts on it. So please thank Mr. Governor for us. I also want to thank Professor Abayomi as a medical practitioner. I don't know how you have time to do your practice or administrative work, but you during the COVID, you were unbelievable in being everywhere. If I didn't know that probably it was not true, I would think that you are replicating yourself in different places at the same time. So we have a fantastic team in Lagos State, and I know that they're going to support us. Government cannot do it alone. We have all understood that. We cannot rely on governments to do everything in healthcare. We have to participate and meet halfway, and then we'll ensure that we get the support of the government. I want to thank everybody for coming. I really am appreciative. I know that there's a lot of traffic out there, and there's still the COVID scare and everything, but I'm grateful that you have come here to come and support us and help us to move along. As we're moving along, just like Princess said, just like Princess and our chairman said, when we call on you, you can see what we do with your money. I'm not traveling to Dubai. I am not buying expensive clothes. This is what we do, and it's needed. When you have somebody who comes in and they don't have any other hope, and they walk through the door and you help them, to me, I sleep well at night. And there's so many people out there who need that kind of help. So this is where we want to give quality care. They don't have to be treated in a substandard way just because they don't have a lot of money, or they don't have to be treated in a substandard way just because it's not in a place where a highbrow area. We can give quality health care anywhere that we are. So with this, I thank you all again very much for coming, and welcome.
Thank you very much, Ma. Please, can we have a bigger round of applause for her? Her speech was really
Emotional for me. I saw how she was just trying to contain it, and
representative of the Army of Ife, if you've arrived, or we're still expecting you. His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi. Mrs. Inkem Raji, the Country Director for Africa Women's Health Project International, Nigeria. Mr. Tola Atekoja, Chairman, ST.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation. The founder and CEO of African Women's Health Project International, Dr. Morade Ogunlana. Who's that? Is that you? I thought you were a princess. Okay. So you're a princess doctor. Okay. Thank you. And thank you for those warm words you gave earlier on. Founder and Executive Director, ST.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation, Mrs. Moji Animashaon, and your husband, Shola Animashaon. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for those remarks. I certainly will pass them on to Mr. Governor. The chairman, Mrs. Abisola Giwa Osage, she here? Oh, she's on. Are we zooming with you? Okay. And happy birthday to Bolahon Animashaon. Distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, and viewers that are joining us today by digital technology on Zoom. So these kinds of events and these kinds of initiatives are really very important for us as government. One thing that Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu has emphasized in this dispensation is that while we try to improve access to care across the primary healthcare, secondary, and tertiary facilities, his mandate to me as the Commissioner of Health has been to start to focus on specialist areas, because we recognize that a lot of our citizens from this state who get complicated diseases have to leave the country to get specialist care for sub-disciplines and subspecialties. And top of our list has been the provision of the specialty of cancer management, or what we call oncology. Now, it's very sad to find people who develop cancer and not be able to provide an international benchmarked treatment strategy for patients with different cancers. And as you all know, every part of your body is vulnerable to developing cancer. So you can get cancer literally of every organ, every tissue, every aspect of your body. So while we're paying attention to prevention, we obviously have to pay attention to the appropriate treatment of persons who have developed cancer. And the sooner we do that, the better the chances are that we may be able to, at best, cure the cancer, and at worst, allow you to live with your cancer for many years, and perhaps maybe even die from something else. And that is the general trend around the world, that we as medical practitioners and as the medical fraternity are looking towards converting cancer either to a curable disease or to one that we would call a chronic disease. In other words, if we cannot cure it, we can at least make sure that you live with your cancer just like you live with your hypertension, and you live with your diabetes, or you live with your arthritis, or you live with your HIV. So we in Lagos are trying and aspiring to get to a place where no matter what type of cancer you have, that you can have curative treatment or palliative treatment that converts you into a chronic patient, and that you go about your business living with your cancer, but being managed by professionals. Now, as you know, there are a multitude of treatment modalities that are available for people who have cancer, all the way from chemotherapy to radiation therapy, to smart molecules, to immunotherapy. And then even within those disciplines themselves, there are subspecialty areas. So brachytherapy, for example, is a subspecialty area of radiation therapy. And then we have more advanced treatments like bone marrow transplant and organ transplant or organ removals. So as government, and as you've heard Mr. Governor say over and over, that one of this government's dispensation is to harness and strengthen public-private partnerships, because Some people would say that government has no business doing business. But what then is our role? Our role is to establish policy. Our role is to create an enabling environment for the private sector to prosper. Our role is to regulate, and our role is to be the public protector. That's our priority function as government. And so when we see opportunities like this, we're very quick to come, to support, to join hands, to create the opportunity and for the ease of doing business. And the ease of doing business for you is the ease with which you will now cater for persons in this locality and possibly further afield who will need this kind of very scarcely available specialist therapy for cancer that is particularly targeted at cervical and prostate cancer and some of the commonest cancers that we see in this environment. So from Mr. Governor, I would certainly like to first of all just congratulate you. There are people with guts, and there are people with determination, and there are people with courage. And when you find all three of those attributes together in one person or a group of people, then you start to see miraculous things happening. And so on this occasion, it is really important for us to support such courage, such adventure, such determination, such initiatives to make life better for certain people in our environment that will develop devastating diagnosis of cancer. Now, the word cancer, anybody who has seen a doctor, and when the doctor tells you your diagnosis is cancer, that word alone, if not delivered properly, can cause death because of the fear and the stigma associated with cancer. And I've seen it happen many times, where you mention the word cancer and people actually lose the will to carry on living. But when you mention the diagnosis, you then say, but we have the facilities to manage you, and the facilities perhaps to cure you, or to at least help you live with your cancer and live a relatively good quality of life for as long as possible. So, I want to congratulate you, you and your team, all your supporters. I see different hats in the congregation here. I assume that you're all part of this fraternity that is determined to provide more access to cancer specialist treatment in Lagos, in Nigeria, and across the sub-region. We certainly have an agenda as government, but our agenda, as I pointed out, is to lead the way and allow the private sector to flourish and to prosper, while we determine the regulatory framework under which you can carry out these services. We also will develop benchmark facilities, but not too many, so that we allow you as private sector to take on the baton and do what you know how best to do, because that is what private sector does. So on behalf of the medical fraternity of the Ministry of Health, on behalf of the Lagos State Cabinet, on behalf of the Incident Commander, whom I'm representing today, I'd like to congratulate you, wish you well, and we're certainly always here to support and promote this effort. Thank you very much.
Please, can I have a bigger round of applause for Mr. Governor? I think for those of us from Lagos, we know we are very lucky because we have a governor and a government that is ever listening. A very hardworking one who is setting the pace for everybody. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'm happy that he has pledged his support. Mommy, are we not very happy? While we are here, we are very happy. Thank you so much. The commemorative the plaque. So I would like to invite everybody on this table. The governor would lead us to just this side. We could just yeah. Okay.
With due respect to the high table, particularly the Honorable Commissioner for Health representing the Governor of Lagos State, the convener of today's event, our distinguished Dr. Princess Moradin. My name is Gabadin Olabode. I'm a one-time commissioner in Lagos State, specifically with Local Government Service Commission. I'm presently the Director General, Eternal Care Foundation. And we are here at the behest of the President, who said, having known what we do, we will be a ready partner with an initiative like this. And I'm happy to be here, though a bit late due to traffic, but thank God I wanted to buy over Onje. Let me say this opportunity to thank the Commissioner. This is the first time I'm seeing him in person, but I've known a lot about him. During COVID proper, this man was extraordinary. I've never known a Nigerian like this. He couldn't everything. At a point, he had to sacrifice his whole health too. And thank God they came out of it, heal and healthy. Madam, I also congratulate you for this initiative. I pray Almighty God will support you all through. We are the Eternal Care Foundation. Whichever way we can, we will always be there for you. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much for the observation and for the pledge. So please, can we come this way? You just say after the career. Thank you so much, sir. Yes. Okay, so thank you so much. We are going for the unveiling now. Careful, sir.
Today, we are performing the groundbreaking ceremony of the Brachytherapy Unit, Surulere Cancer Treatment Center, supported by ST.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation and the African Women's Health Project International on the 22nd of June, 2021, by His Excellency Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Governor of Lagos State, and supported by His Imperial Majesty, the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan, Babatunde Ogunwusi Ojaja II, and Sir Olua Tuminu Okeowo, unavoidably absent. So we performed this important responsibility today, and we look forward to seeing this manifest itself for the service of Lagosians, Nigerians, and West Africans. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
The governor of Lagos State and His Royal Majesty Obabuosi, who is not here, and we still expect his representative. But at this juncture, all I have to say is thank you so much for coming, and all the words of encouragement that you've given to us will drive us for so many years to come. And I know I probably can talk like an oncologist now, because I know a lot more about cancer than I probably need to know, but thank my wife for that. And we're going to continue to support the cause, just the same way as Lagos State has promised to. And I think your administration is working wonders. And please tell Mr. Governor that we support him so much and we love what he's doing. And thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. So we can have our seats now. Okay, can we take photographs first before we go? Please, can we have photographs? Just people who have seats. Thank you very much. The AWHPI.
Who wants to take the picture? He's the one that will take the picture.
Have our goodwill messages online. I'll hand over the mic to the technical people so we can listen to them. We had to speed this up because of Mr. Governor.
Hello, everybody, dear friends, colleagues, well-wishers. It is indeed my distinct pleasure to welcome you all to this awesome takeoff of the milestone collaboration between our very own African Women Health Project International, USA, and the ST.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation based in Nigeria. I want to say a big thank you and congratulations to the teams at the AWHPI and the ST.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation on this milestone collaboration to deliver state-of-the-art care and treatment for cervical cancer. With this collaboration of AWHPI and ST.Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation, I look forward to the positive impacts that this treatment center will have on our indigent women battling cervical cancer in Lagos State and in Nigeria as a whole. Permit my indulgence to share that access to healthcare is an undeniable human right, which many women in Africa and in Nigeria
The collaboration today with AWHPI is expected to advance this cause. The ST.Cyril Cancer Foundation has been around for over 8 years, doing fantastic work in trying to cater and provide qualitative services for people who need cancer care. Please help us to reach out to as many people as possible. Help us to change the narrative of the cancer story in Nigeria. The 2017 statistics of the WHO shows that 4 out of every 5 Nigerians will die of cancer because they do not have access to care. Please help us to change that story. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a real pleasure to be here. I have to start by congratulating Princess and honorable members of the government who gave their beautiful opening remarks. I head an organization over here in the UAE and also advise royal family members based out of the UAE as well. One of the core things that has been a priority in this country has been women's health and well-being. And one of the most important factor to that has been the country's commitment and country's vision by the leaders who have ensured that there is ample awareness, ample packages, and also at the same time, enough importance that is made upon women's health and well-being. Personally speaking, I'll share a quick anecdote of my own very, very individual experience. My grandmother suffered from breast cancer. And one of the reasons why we couldn't treat it at the right time was because there was not enough awareness at that time. And it still had the stigma and the social taboo attached to it. So the genetic is prone to breast cancer, and of course the carcinogenic, which will always be there, like also the men that the government mentioned. One of the things that we need to do collectively is to ensure that whether be it women or men, there is a treatment, just like there are treatments for other diseases and ailments, and we shouldn't fear from taking it. At the same time, encourage others to take it as well, because if you aren't aware and if you aren't ready to deal with it, then it's always a problem. So I'm really, really thankful to Princess, who ensured that we all can assemble over here and share our thoughts with each other. And also, I'm extending my congratulations once again to the entire group. I'm hopeful that we collectively can ensure and take a step forward. And from our side, ensuring that this becomes a global priority and not just an individual priority. Thank you very much. Look forward to the rest of the session. Thank you.
I hope you're still on, Princess. I just wanted to say thank you for your speech. And we know we can count on your support all the way from Dubai. Thank you very much.
a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọlọ́run á bá wa náwó sí i ẹ̀yin tẹ̀dẹ̀ wá náà àìsàn tó máa tún gbé wa débi báyìí kò ní ṣe wá o ààbò ọlọ́run á máa bò wá ẹ ṣé ẹ kú dìde o thank you for everything. èkó ò ní bàjẹ́ o ó bàjẹ́ tì.
Thank you, everybody. Somebody was asking that mommy speaks in English. I can confirm to you that she can speak English and she understands English. But she's here representing the traditional institution, and that is why we obliged her to speak in Yoruba language. And what she said was very simple. She thanked everybody for being here, for your love and support. And of course, to say that we should continue to support the good work we are doing here. And she just says that God will be with us all. Thank you.
Great. I just want to thank you for this amazing presentation that you're doing. I'm Patricia Oliver, and I'm the spearhead of the African Women's Friends of Africa initiative. And as I listen to the presentation today, it brings me such warmth to know when I see the S on cancer units. And that is so absolutely amazing to me. I really enjoyed the presentations, especially when we're talking about cancer and the devastation that it is doing to the African countries and African continent and here in the United States of America. I just want to congratulate Princess Ogalana and the rest of you all for doing an amazing job. I also have such a platform on self-care and self-love, and I'm just so excited to hear what each and every one of you all had to say on that initiative. So again, Princess Ogalana and the rest of you all, I just continue to encourage you on the vision that you're doing, the action that you're taking. And again, thank you for allowing me to present.